Hello, it's Donna from Taffy Crafting. Today has marked the launch of the new annual catalogue, and I want to show you today one of those products that is in the annual catalogue, and it is the Bloom and Grow stamp set, a really pretty stamp set that really just lends itself to some colouring, and that's what I'm going to be doing today. I've created this card. I'm trying to hold it so that you don't notice that actually this is on crooked. I did rush it a little bit because I just wanted to have a quick practice before I showed it to you. So I'm actually going to do another one of these, and I'm going to show you the watercolour pencils. I haven't used watercolour pencils in ages, and these are the ones that I'm using. They have been rebranded a little bit now because these are a little bit older, but they're still available in the new catalogue. These are the colours that are in here. We've got Real Red, Calypso Coral, Pumpkin Pie, Daffodil Delight, Old Olive, Bermuda Bay, Pacific Point, Rich Raspberry, Melon Mambo, Early Espresso, Basic Grey, Basic Black and Whisper White. But today we're just going to use two of those with all that selection. We're just going to use two, and we're going to use the blender pen as well. So I'm going to show you that. I do need to sharpen those a bit, but I'm not going to do that now. So let me show you what I'm doing now. I've had to make this card. This one is, what is this one? 6x4, but this one that I'm going to make now is slightly smaller. So this is what you're going to need. So this is Melon Mambo cardstock I'm using here, and this measures 8 1/4 inches by 5 7/8, and then along the long side I've just scored at 4 1/8, and that just gives you a basic card front, and we're going to be using this landscape today. I've also got a piece of Whisper White, and that measures 5 5/8 by 3 7/8, and that's going to sit on there like a border. And then I've got another piece of Melon Mambo which measures 5 3/8 by 1 1/4. So when we finish, that's going to sit on there. So we've got some really nice layers going on here. And then another piece of Whisper White, and that one measures 5 1/8 by 1 inch. 5 1/8? Yes, 5 1/8 by 1 inch. And that's going to sit in there like that. So I'm going to go backwards on this a little bit. I'm going to take this sentiment here, "You are simply wonderful," and I want to do that because somebody today has done something wonderful for us. Just had a very nice conversation with somebody, and she was really understanding, you know, what I had to say to her, and you know, it could have been an awkward conversation, and actually she was wonderful. So sometimes we want to remind people what an impact that they have on our lives, and just a few simple words sometimes can make such a difference, can't they? So I want to make this card with this particular lady in mind, and hopefully if I don't get this one crooked, I might actually give it to her. So I'm just going to stamp that roughly in the middle, and I've stamped that in Melon Mambo just to keep this all coordinated. And then that's going to, when we finish, that's going to sit on there like that. So I'm just going to put that to one side. And I want to decorate my white cardstock. And I'm going to use this as a type of, or to mask it really. So I'm just going to put that there for now, roughly where I want it to be. I want it to be in the middle. And I don't need to stick it down. I don't think, that's not necessary. You know, I've done this once before. It isn't necessary to stick that down. So I'm now using, which one am I using? This one. So I'm using this stamp. You could really use any of these big stamps here, but I'm going to use this one. And I'm going to ink this up using Basic Grey. Black is a little bit harsh sometimes when you're colouring. So grey is a nice one. So this is basic grey, but you could use smoky slate. Can't remember the other grey one. Grey granite, could probably use that as well. I'm probably making the camera shake while I'm doing this. I'm just inking up my stamp. These are photopolymer stamps. They are my personal favourite photopolymer stamps, but you know, everyone is different what they prefer. Right, hopefully this will work first time, but there's always a back of this card if we need to. So I'm just going to put that there as the mask. You'll see in a minute what's going on. And I'm going to turn that, and I want that to sit like that. So it's going to be over that card. And I'm just going to be brave and just get that stamp down. Hold down the melon mambo and lift that off. I just move a little bit. You're probably thinking it all looks a bit peculiar at the moment. Bear with, all will be revealed. So I'm just going to get my stamp again, ink that up, probably shake the camera. I'm going to do the same on this side. I want it that way around, I think. No, I don't want it that way around. I want it that way around. And just trying to make sure that's lined up. I'm just going to get that on there. Press that down. And lift it. That could have gone a little bit better. I can't go back on it now. So I've got that there like that. And then what will happen is I will flip that and then attach that onto there. Now that could have stamped a bit better. There's nothing I can do about that now. I suppose the only other thing I could do is just get a piece of melon mambo and make it a little bit wider. So I might just do that in a second. Let's just get some of these things out of the way and close up the ink. Just grab a piece of melon mambo. So that was 1.25 inches wide. So just off camera, I'm just going to very quickly get another piece of card that's going to be 1.5 inches by 5 5/8, I think that was. No, 5 3/8. Hey presto, that sorted out that little problem. And probably my sentiment might be a bit too small for that. Nope, we'll go with that. So before I stick that on there, let's do some watercolouring, or watercolour pencils. So I've got a melon mambo and I've got the old olive. Now, using watercolour pencils, we're not looking, what I don't want to do is colour in the entire flower. I just want it to go inside, just like the inside bit. So all I'm doing, I just made some, just kind of some little marks. I'm trying not to shake the camera here. And I'm trying to describe the type of colouring I'm doing. It's a bit kind of, oh, I don't know, a bit kind of spiky colouring there like that. So I'm going to go around all of these. Have I missed any out? No. And then these here, just a little squiggle in each of those. That is all you need, because the blender pen is going to do the rest for you. So again, just going to do some kind of spiky colouring. It's the only way I can describe that. And these watercolour pencils, it's the same with the stamping blends. You could colour this in using stamping blends if you wanted to. but I like this because it's a little bit more subtle. Just going to colour these in there. It's a bit around there where my stamping went a bit wrong. Just a little bit of colour in each of those. And then I'm going to get my old olive. And I'm just going to put, literally, there's no sophisticated colouring going on here. That's what I like about these watercolour pencils. You don't need to be the world's best artist. I'm just going to get those coloured in here. It's only the leaves that I'm doing. I think I've got all of them. So here's our blender pen. Yes, a blender pen. So it's just got a little bit of moisture in there. So I'm just going to take off, there's no colour on there. So squiggle that now. I'm going to start off with the flowers. And all I'm doing is just going over those and just blending out that colour so it goes out towards the edge of the petal. And it just blends it. Don't put too much moisture on this. It will start to break down the card if you're not using watercolour paper. And you're just blending it. It takes those harsh pencil lines away. But what I wanted to do was show that pink as it kind of blends out into the flower. Just blend that colour in there. It's very therapeutic doing this. So I tend to craft late at night. Everyone's gone to bed. And I get some time to myself to do a little bit of craft. And this is really, really therapeutic. You know, I've had quite a busy day today. I've been flitting about all over the college, talking to different students, marking their work. And, you know, I haven't really had a minute to myself today, so this has been a really nice thing to do. And I can assure you that I am no artist whatsoever. I just thought I'd have a go at this technique where you've got the colour right in the middle of the flower and it just blends out. So I want to go to the green, so before I do that, all I do is just colour onto my paper there until it goes clear. And then I'm going to move on to my leaves and I'm just blending that colour to the edge. So it's quite intense in the inside of the leaf, and as it gets towards the edge, the colour blends out. But like I say, don't put too much pressure on this. The card fibres will start to break down. There we are, there's our colouring. Just wipe that off. And we'll put that to one side. Okay, so ready now to start constructing this card. So the first thing I want to do, I actually want to get this layer onto there. So I'm just going to use some glue out of this dispenser. We'll try not to show you that this is not Stampin' Up! Glue. It's just some glue that I've got kicking around. But you could use wet glue for this. You could use tear and tape. I tend not to use tear and tape because I would prefer to use wet glue for this because I don't always get it in the right place first time. So I'm just going to put that over there. Get it pretty much central. Get that down there like that. I then want to put this on here. So a little bit of quick thinking there to cover up that mistake. And again, just going to use call it dispenser glue. I don't know what it is. So let's just get that in the right place, get it central and down like that. And then this I want to stick on with dimensionals, which are here. So this is quite a thick piece. You know me, I'm really stingy when it comes to dimensionals, but I think I've got to put a few along here, so probably one in each corner. No, put one there. I hate using too many dimensionals, absolutely hate it. I'm so frugal with stuff. Now, just while I'm doing this, the link to my shop is in the description bar below. Come and browse the amazing new catalogue and come and have a look at all the lovely things that are in there. And you can shop safely and securely with me. You don't have to send me any money. The payment goes through via Stampin' Up. But if you click on the link, you actually go through my own personal shop. So if you make a purchase, Stampin' Up tell me about that, and then I can send you a lovely thank you gift for shopping with me. So there goes that. So that's just given that a little bit of height there. You can just see there's a little bit of dimension there. I don't know if you can see that. So they have a lovely card to remind somebody of how wonderful they are when they've done something nice for you. So just to remind you, this is using the Bloom and Grow stamp set. It goes perfect with watercolour pencils or with blender pens, markers, or if you are using ink with the aqua painter. So thank you for joining me in making this card, and I'm looking forward to seeing you again soon when I've got a brand new project for you using a new product from the brand new catalogue. Thanks for joining me. Bye bye.